Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
And I'm Chris.
Today we'll be talking about Love Island All-Stars Season 2, Episode 15.
So is this the Ekin you was telling me about, Blair?
She's getting there.
Oh. This not her in her final form?
No.
Now, question for y'all. Is this the Curtis y'all was telling me about? Because I ain't gonna hold you. I kind of like this Curtis better than the other Curtis. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Let's go, Blair.
All right. So everybody's getting ready for the night. What stood out to me was Scott told the boys that boys chat is boys chat. And somebody said only one person you need to tell that to.
Apparently, the person that needs to be told that is your favorite. Craziness, but it's okay.
So it's nighttime. Luca is the favorite boy, and he was happy that everyone was supportive. Casey thinks that Luca did the right thing with saving Tina, but now there's pressure for Scott to be with Tina.
Yeah.
Tina and Scott are talking, and she talks about how she would have hated if it ended the way that it did. She does want to enjoy their time together. He agrees, and he wants to just stop listening to outside pressures and just enjoy each other. Luca says that, Scott can't feel pressure and then decide that he wants to dump her. Scott asks Tina, what more can he do? He hasn't really changed anything. They just had their conversation, but he's telling her to just judge things off of how we feel about each other.
Hey, Scott, let me correct you just for a little bit. He said, hey, let's not listen to outside pressures, or let's not listen to what I said privately to the guys that is exposed in front of everybody.
Exactly.
Because there was nothing on the outside that motivated y'all little hiccup except for your words that was exposed by Luca. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think, the funny thing about it is, I think Scott is happy to have somebody, but I still don't believe that Tina is the one for him. And I think Tina right now, she just experienced almost getting eliminated. So that little thing she may have felt like, oh, I don't know about Scott. It is what it is. Just tell me what it is. She's like, I almost got eliminated. Scott, I'm with you. We gonna be together for now.
Okay.
That's how I view it.
Yeah, so Curtis gets a text that he and Elma are going to have a sleepover with the Bombshells in the Hideaway Retreat. Curtis is laughing because he's speechless, and Ekin says, you sure it's not excitement?
What is your thoughts?
My thoughts is Ekin already is getting riled up. It's starting. It's starting now.
I don't even understand why Ekin feels some type of way. Like, you literally took 3 other guys to a hideaway or took them somewhere, and you got to choose who you wanted to be coupled up with. Why do you think, like, Curtis, like it's not about excitement, but the whole thing about it is, hey, the same way as you took Cass, man, and now you're Cass. You get what I'm saying? And now guess what? Someone's going to take Curtis again.
But Ekin says she's Ekin.
Oh,
so.
Well, okay, Ekin.
Well, the Bombshells are Danielle and Sammy.
Yeah.
Elma and Curtis go in to greet them, and immediately Curtis says that he and Ekin are a strong couple. Tess will be Tess, but he is usually a one-woman guy. Once he's connecting with somebody, he's not really interested in talking to other people. Elma and Sammy apparently know each other. They haven't really dated, but every time they see each other, there is some type of chemistry there.
Okay.
So Danielle talks about how she chose someone that she would go for on the outside. She wanted someone mature and someone she could settle down with. And they both are looking for their next partner to be someone that they could see being a good parent to their child.
Oh, okay.
And Elma and Sammy are just very giggly.
That's very specific, Danielle, for someone that you really don't even know like that.
But the thing is, Curtis said he says the same thing. He was like, yeah, I want my next girl to be, a good mother of my child. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, I will say this. I never heard a guy that say, I want a woman who's a bad mother to my children. So I understand that may be on your list of things. But my thing is this, hey, Scott is there too. Scott is mature. You get what I'm saying? So I find it very interesting that she picked Curtis. I think there is a little bit of, Ekin, I'm going to take your man. You get what I'm saying? Or Ekin, I'm going to test how strong this relationship is. Because Scott, it probably just would have been too easy for Scott. Last time Scott went on a date, he straight got his girl and he eliminated. You get what I'm saying? And Tina was on the bottom as far as we know. So it's like, you know what, Ekin, I want to go for the queen of the villa. And guess what? I'm for it.
Yeah, I think Danielle really made a splash coming in and going for Curtis. And I honestly like the vibe between she and Curtis. I felt like they seemed to really have chemistry that came through the television. Like, I could see it.
Sometimes you say some things to me, Blair, that jogs a memory.
What's up?
Let me actually give y'all the rules of Love Island, right? as someone who just been watching it since last year.
Okay,
right?
let us know.
The point of a bombshell is to come in and to make a splash.
Yes.
To make some type of boom, right? Not to come in for the girl that don't have somebody.
Right.
Sammy. You get what I'm saying? It's easy to get Elma. Ronnie don't want her. You get what I'm saying? But the point of the bombshell is to test the strong relationships, is to come in and to create the drama and to stir the drama. And so far, I would say Danielle is the best bombshell we had on this season so far, because she said, you know what? I'm not going to go for Ron, or like I'm not going to go for, Nas is gone. I'm not gonna go for. I'm gonna go for the strong couple. I'm going for Curtis, and that's what the bombshell is supposed to do. I like it.
Exactly. So Ekin, Catherine, and Tina are all chatting.
Yeah.
Ekin said that when Curtis said goodbye to her, she didn't feel like he reassured her. He said he was confused, but the girls are trying to say he's just confused that he was picked. He just doesn't know why he was picked.
Okay.
Ekin would have told him that he had nothing to worry about, but she wouldn't say she was confused. Ekin then goes to Luca and tells him that she is falling for Curtis, and Luca says that, Curtis will be respectful. That is something that you can trust.
Okay.
Only thing that I'm saying is, I don't know. I really don't believe Ekin really likes Curtis like that.
Really?
For some reason, it just does not come across genuine to me. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling the chemistry for some reason. But, I'll go along with the story. If we're going with the fact that Ekin likes Curtis this much, I think her telling Luca in a way was a little bit of gameplay so that Luca could relay that to Curtis, so that, to be like, she's really falling for you, man, and really kind of have her back in that way when the guys talk. So
yeah, and then you go tell the guy that don't know how to keep his mouth closed. So,
exactly.
So that's always gameplay. I will say this though, the one thing I don't like about Ekin this season, and maybe it's not Ekin's fault, maybe it's everybody else's fault. It's like we know Ekin's going to be at least near the end of the season because of how everyone is basically hounds around her as if she's like the Oracle. Yeah. Like, it's like, hey, don't let Ekin be the reason why like this season is good or bad or like whatever it is, because truth be told, every scene that we see, the ladies are talking around the Oracle, Ekin, and it's just like, hey, I want to see how y'all talk without Ekin being there or without her pushing any conversations, and I don't want to see the crying and things like that over Ronnie that Elma was doing for 3 episodes. But it's the Ekin show, and everybody else is just extras on the women's side, that is. I want to see more personality coming from the women. And unfortunately, I think we got rid of the personality. I think Cass was a big personality.
Agreed.
On the women's side.
So Curtis and Danielle are talking about cooking, how she's a very nurturing person. He enjoyed their first chat, and Danielle makes a comment that she'll deal with Ekin tomorrow.
Ooh.
Ekin says that she wouldn't have pulled someone if she knew that they were closed off. Ekin has been calm, but it feels like someone is poking her now.
Okay. We'll see.
Only thing I have to say is that with Ekin, I don't think they really said that they were closed off. There wasn't this big announcement. No. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. If they told each other, okay, we're closed off. I think they were getting to that point. Yeah. And Curtis might have been fine with saying that he was, but I don't think it was really solidified.
No, it wasn't solidified, but the conversation was brought up while they was in the bed one day. Yeah. And they was like, I'm getting to closed off. It was basically like, is that on the table? I think Curtis was talking about, is this moving too fast or something like that? Yeah. So that was the conversation. It wasn't like I want to be closed off. It was basically like a check-in. Right. Like hey, we moving towards closed off, but there wasn't no solidified, to your point, we are closed off. So it's bedtime. Ekin made the comment that she should wear one of Scott's shirts. Oops, she means Curtis. That's why I'm like, Ekin don't even know who the man is that she's supposed to be liking. This is Ekin's acting gig. Catherine is sleeping alone, but Casey tells her it's okay. You'll get the same number of kisses as before. I don't like that. Don't make fun of our Catherine, Casey. That was really funny. It was funny, though. So it was the next day. Curtis and Danielle talked a lot. They actually found out they have a lot in common. Ekin is worried about what they could have been doing. Yeah. So Curtis kissed Ekin on the head when he returned, and the girls all talked to Sammy and Elma, and they talk about how he was happy with the decision that he made. Danielle and Curtis talk with the guys. She asks how Ekin is doing, and Lucas says that she has concerns, with the fact that they are closed off and you did pull him. Danielle wasn't going to try to sleep with him. It was just conversation. Yeah. Sammy tells Ekin that Curtis,
had to give Danielle a warm welcome, but he was respectful. He wasn't doing anything that would be considered dishonest. Danielle is describing the personality of a guy that she likes as far as like kind of a dry sense of humor, and everybody feels like she's describing Ronnie.
Ron.
No, Ronnie is what was said.
You sure? Because they put the camera on Ron. I want to put money that it was Ron.
I'll put money as Ronnie.
I think it's Ron.
Y'all let us know.
Let us know. I think
because Ronnie got the giggling.
No, Ronnie was the one that was talking, saying, "This is my boy Ron right over here." I think it was Ron.
You're mistaken.
I don't think so. I will say this: during the night, right, they was poking fun at Ekin, and they said, when she was like, "I wonder what they're doing," and of course Luca and poking fun at her, said, "Oh, they having sex," and things like that. Just poking fun at her. I will say during the night, I felt like the conversation with Danielle and Curtis was a lot more easier than I seen the conversation with Curtis and Ekin.
Agreed.
Right? And maybe it's something to where even he said, like, I can see myself with you, because she said, she basically said, like, you have all the traits, I'm paraphrasing, you have all the traits and I can see myself with you. And he basically was just like, likewise. You get what I'm saying? And they did not hold hands, but there was a little bit of playing with the fingers. You get what I'm saying?
No, he was playing with her rings because he was trying to look at her rings.
That is a playing with the fingers to me.
Okay.
Right? I say he was playing with the fingers, right? You can show me the ring by taking the ring off your finger.
That is true.
So that's why I'm like, there was
touch.
That's why I said it was an excuse to touch and play with the fingers, right? To where he can technically say, I did not hold her hand, because he did not, right? But I feel like Curtis was enjoying just the not being the main attraction of the villa. Because whenever they come over to Ekin and Curtis, it's always like, hey, mom and dad, and things like that. And I think Curtis actually likes the speed of being with someone new, someone who don't have these big expectations. Talk about come over and say something to me in 5 minutes, and then you come over there in 6 minutes. You're like, well, this wasn't 5 minutes. I think this is more Curtis speed, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the girl just seems nicer.
Yeah.
So Elma and the girls talk. She likes Sammy, but she thinks he's a little bit young. But there was no kissing. Curtis did say that he was closed off, and they just spoke in bed. Curtis tells the guys that they did have a lot in common, and things are just a lot easier with Danielle.
Nice.
Elma says the only thing that she saw talking to Ekin when it came to Curtis is that he just kind of grabbed her wrist from her ankle. It looked like he just grabbed her wrist a little bit. So Ekin and Danielle talk, and she's asking, was he flirty? Like, really give me the lowdown what happened. And Danielle tells her that he was respectful.
Okay. Now, Ekin, this is the source. Elma's not the source. This is the source.
Yeah. Tina and Sammy talk, and she's talking about wanting to settle down. She's about to turn 30. Sammy really doesn't get why everybody's so hooked up on age, but he is enjoying his conversation with Tina, and he's not quick to get up to grab somebody else.
Okay. Nice.
So Curtis and Ekin have their chat. Ekin feels like a line has been crossed.
Oh, my goodness.
She says, if I'm overreacting, just tell me I'm overreacting. And Curtis tells her, you're overreacting.
Yes, you are.
Because I didn't hold anybody's hands. He touched Danielle's hand at the most. So Ekin walks away. She's frustrated. She wants to be reassured. And Elma said, because Curtis approaches her and is like, what did you tell Ekin that I did? And Elma says, I did not say you held her hand. I said there was some type of grabbing motion that I could see from where I was. But Ekin feels like he cheated, but she told Ekin that he was respectful. She said, even though I said I saw some hand grabbing, you were respectful the whole time. You even said that you were closed off pretty much. Curtis said that he can't have a relationship without trust. He likes Ekin, and hopefully maybe this is something that can be worked on.
Keep going.
Ekin asked for clarification for the hand touching when she talks to Danielle. And Danielle says, he was asking me about my rings. Ekin feels like she needs to be reassured. She just needs more than that.
I understand he was asking for the rings, but I understand that guy move. Curtis, you just got a little touch, a little respectful touch, and I respect it, right? Elma, from your angle, if you got to start off a sentence with from my angle, that means you don't have a clear look of what's going on.
Exactly.
So mind your business, okay? You finally got your man. You're not crying over Ronnie no more. They voted you the favorite. I'm not mad at the UK, right? A little bit I am, right? Also, Ekin, you over here talking to Curtis as if, like, you are playing with him in the sense of, hey, let me know if I'm overreacting. He says you're overreacting, and what do? You overreact even more.
Yeah, you storm off.
Like it's like now Curtis is looking at you like, I can't even talk to you because you're not even like. There's one thing a guy hates is that you're gonna punish me for a crime I didn't do. Where I could have did the crime and got the same punishment, right? But I didn't do anything. Okay, I looked at her ring. I touched her hand. Okay, cool. But you're acting like I crossed a line with this girl. I wanted to cross the line with that girl, but I was respectful. Why am I getting the same punishment as if I crossed the line? I might as well cross the line. And that's why I'm like, I think that's how Curtis feels. He's like, if you don't trust me, he even said when he was getting dressed or as he's about to get dressed, he was saying things like, in the real life, I travel a lot. I'm not around a lot. So trust is going to have to be the foundation of our relationship. And I think Ekin is doing a little bit cat and mouse, just a little bit too much in this position right here.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think that Ekin likes to be the star, and I think that she played her cards wrong. I think that she felt like Curtis, being as nice as he was, would pretty much simp for her and tried to make her feel better, but she didn't take into account the fact that he's a grown man as well, and he's not going to play around with these childish games.
No, you should have got NAS for all that. You get what I'm saying?
And she thought that this man would be like a puppy dog behind her,
Nope.
and she could, be upset and yell and tell him come back in 5 minutes, and he was just going to be her little do boy. But that's not the case. And Ekin, you're playing yourself because you want to be the star and the drama queen so bad that you're going to find yourself single. And when you find yourself single, you find yourself off the island.
Unless producers bring in somebody for you, as like they did Elma. But that's just my conspiracy. You know what I'm saying?
So it's nighttime. Curtis does want to talk to Danielle at some point tonight. Sammy really enjoys his chats with Elma. So Ekin and Curtis try to have another conversation. He said that we have to have trust with each other, and he hasn't done anything to betray her trust.
Yeah.
Ekin talks about how she's scared, and do you want to get to know Danielle? He tells her, if she pulls me, I'll talk to her.
Yeah.
Ekin tells him, look, I'm closed off. Curtis told Danielle that he was closed off as well. But Ekin doesn't want him to see him talk to Danielle in front of her. Gabby thinks, she's telling this to Danielle, she thinks that Curtis really isn't closed off because when you're closed off, you have no interest in talking to anybody else.
Okay.
Ekin felt worthless, betrayed, and Curtis again tells her, I did not do anything to you.
Yeah.
And that makes him worry. Going to the hideaway was out of his hands, and Ekin just feels drained at this point. She can't keep explaining herself, and they're not getting anywhere with the conversation, so she walks off again.
Let's start right here for a second. Let's go back to near the beginning of the episode to where they just chilling on the daybeds before Curtis got that text. And she's talking to Curtis, I'm paraphrasing. She says, I feel like whenever I want to talk about something, like you cut me off, right? I'm just chilling. Okay, now you come with accusation. Like what do you mean? He said, you talked about 15 things.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That right there, that's men language right there. That means you're always talking, right? That means like, hey, I really don't get my issue in, but you already said 15 things. I'm just giving y'all some type of I'm y'all person that translate for y'all, right? So now we come back to this scene right here. I'm gonna link those two scenes. She said, I feel betrayed. And Curtis was about to start his next sentence, and then he was like, what? Betrayed? He's like, I literally did not do anything. And then, like, what was I supposed to do? I got picked for the hideout, as Blair was telling us. So it's like, I think Curtis is understanding that, it's always gonna be something with you. Outside of the 15 things that was mentioned before, now you're actually just spewing things, the first thing that come to your head. You feel betrayed. Curtis even said, I reassured you. I gave you a kiss before I left. Like, I talked to you. And she's like, I don't feel reassured. I feel like you betrayed me. And he's like, I did not do anything. And as a man, that's the worst. Listen, I don't ever have to defend the truth. I'm going to say the truth and leave it right there for you to pick it up if you want to. Then I'm going to move on. And I feel like Curtis is in a position to where Blair is saying she is playing her hand too strong, to where I think she wants him to be like, oh, please forgive me for something that he's like, I did not do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and with this conversation, there's no convincing that Curtis can do to make Ekin change her mind.
Yeah.
She's already upset. Curtis is standing on the fact that he didn't do anything wrong. And I feel like now she just at least wants him to acknowledge her feelings and to apologize for making her feel that way.
Yeah.
But Ekin, this is all in your head, love.
Yeah.
This is all in your head, and it's up to you to listen to literally everyone who told you that he was respectful.
Literally, the people who was there: Danielle, Elba,
Sammy,
Curtis
himself.
You know what? You betrayed me. Curtis, like, no, I'm not doing this. I already did 15 other things.
Yeah, so after Ekin walks away again, the guys gather around Curtis.
Of course.
He's confused, and Casey says, did you think maybe you might have been closed off too quickly without having a test? Curtis says that he would have deaded it off with Danielle if those arguments didn't happen, but Ekin's reaction is making him question some things.
Yes.
So Luca says that Ekin really is her best version of herself with Curtis, but as we see, she's unraveling.
Yeah, she is.
Curtis says that with Danielle's conversation, it was just real. And that's the point that I get. It does not come across real with Ekin. Like, I feel like she's acting. And maybe it's because I know she's an actress, but there's nothing authentic there. I don't know.
You and our viewers feel the same way.
Yeah.
Me, I'm lost in the sauce. I'm like, this is the first time I've seen Ekin. You get what I'm saying?
Well, as someone who's not familiar with her, do her conversations with Curtis flow to you?
Her conversations are very self-centered. It's always about her or them, right? So the reasons why I felt like the conversation may have been more real because Curtis got a chance to talk about himself with Danielle. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know if real is the word, but I think both things are real, but it's based on how you interpret, right? I think the real thing about Ekin and about their conversations is it's always going to be about Ekin. No matter the state of the relationship, if the relationship is good or bad, it's going to be based on how Ekin's feeling. You get what I'm saying? To where with Danielle, he got to actually set some things about how he feel about things. You know, it's almost like if the shoe was on the other foot and a girl was to go on a date with a guy and the guy just completely talks about himself the whole time.
Terrible date.
Like the girl would be turned off by it.
Yeah.
And I think Curtis is patient, but then now it's like, it gets tiring after a while, especially if you go on another date and someone just asks you the question, so tell me about yourself. What?
Right.
Do I get to talk about me on dates? You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I'm saying I think both are real, but it's based on how you view it. Ekin is always going to be about herself. Danielle will even give you a chance for it to be about you. You get what I'm saying?
So while everyone's dealing with the blowout from the hideaway, Ron is able to sneak Danielle up to the terrace.
Yeah.
So they're just talking, getting to know each other. They seem to be vibing pretty good, but I just see that spark with Danielle and Curtis.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry. I'm listen. I don't mean to judge. Curtis just a better looking guy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's taller. He's just a better looking guy. And then like Ron just don't seem like a serious person to me.
So Curtis is talking to Danielle, and they're talking in front of the fire pit. He tells Danielle that he is a little bit more picky now. He's 28, and he doesn't want to be in a relationship where arguments happen all the time. He's like not the argument type of guy.
Yeah.
They're laughing, they're talking. He's asking her how is life. Ekin comes out from wherever she came from, and everybody's trying to tell her like, oh, don't walk over there. Like Curtis and Danielle are talking basically, so you know, save yourself the embarrassment or whatever. But Ekin walks exactly right in front of them. Curtis wants someone to be completely themselves. He's telling that to Danielle. Ekin walks away. She starts crying in Ronnie's arms.
Yeah.
And Curtis says, you know, maybe being closed off was the wrong thing to do.
Here's the thing, right? Ekin wanted a moment. Ekin wanted them to see her.
She wanted that shot.
Yeah.
She wanted that to be a screenshot or a screen grab for Love Island. She wanted that to be a moment.
And I'm going to use it for a thumbnail, right? So here's the thing, though. I'm a view from the guy point of view. I don't think Curtis was being, passive aggressive, talking to Danielle in front of the fire pit. Number one, he already told Ekin, if she pulls me, I'm gonna talk to her. Right?
He's been honest.
I think it would have looked worse if he was on the terrace. It would have looked worse if he was in a secret garden.
Don't be sneaky.
It would have looked worse if he was hiding under the daybeds, right? But it's the fact that he was in front of the fire pit that not only that she can see that he's being respectful, right? But everybody can see Curtis is being respectful. He ain't looking at her rings and doing things of that nature, right? But Ekin, she's over there crying, and you said, don't let me put words in your mouth now, that especially when she started crying, you thought she was really in her acting bag right there, right? I felt like Curtis may got the ick, or he's close to the ick, because he's like, what do you do? And trust me, I'm a guy, right? What do you do when your partner is crying and you did not do anything. No, literally, like I can't even build up the heart to console you because I legitimately didn't do anything, right? And I think Curtis is in that position to where he's like, I still haven't done anything. Mm-hmm. This betrayal that you feel, Ronnie over there holding you, there's always gonna be somebody that's gonna be there to console a woman, always, right? But he's like, I ain't doing anything, so I don't know what to do here. What is your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts is Ekin won at the moment. Yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm too cynical of her, but I'm just like, Ekin, they were telling you they were over there talking. She wanted to see them, and I don't know if she thought they would like scurry like mice or something like that. I'd be like, oh my gosh, Ekin's out here.
I'm not doing anything.
We're talking. We're talking. So do whatever you need to do. Go cry in Ronnie's lap or whatever the hell, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Pretty much, because it's just like we're all on Love Island getting to know each other. If the thing is, I'm standing by the fact that Curtis and Ekin didn't solidify being closed off. He was fine with saying it after the fact. And even in the Hideaway, or he didn't say like, I'm closed off. What he exactly said is, I'm a one woman type of guy and me and Ekin are strong. So I'm fine with Danielle coming in and seeing what type of luck she has with Curtis, because I think they're cute together, to be honest.
And I think Danielle don't fit Ekin. And I don't think she should.
I don't think she should.
So it's going to be interesting to watch. So far, I'm not saying this season is bad. I see a lot of y'all saying this season is boring and bad. Granted, I am new to this, not true to this. I'm enjoying watching it, to be honest. For one, this season feel like it's going by, at least the episodes in All Stars, feel like it goes way faster than it did with the actual UK show. To me, it felt like, especially with the season we had last year, it just felt like there wasn't enough personalities on the show. Even though there's big personalities and there's small personalities on the show, I feel like All Stars, everybody have their own spin on their own personality, and it's entertaining to me. I'm enjoying it.
Same, and that's all I got.
That's all you got. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, comment. I will have this out. We have priorities to do Married at First Sight. So we gonna get that out, as it's already out, and this gonna be our first thing 7:00 a.m. UK time. Okay, and I make sure that is out.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.